Well, I see how you get all the ones with the guns.
You've got just as many guns. There. So... Ooh. Just some of the models.
No, I just need the names off the top.
Okay. So these are like the pre-generated ones.
Alright. So how do I know who's who?
So the guy with in your left hand, he's the guy with the combat shotgun. Him. Combat shotgun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Combat shotgun.
And that guy,
he's the
stub and a sort of spud jacker is what they call wrenches. That's the renderizer. That's the stub cannon.
And he's the grenade launcher and the boot creeper.
Yeah. That's right. We'll set up a couple of barricades. Just sort of like that, I guess. Just a little bit of...
Learning how to play Necromunda. Part 1.
Okay. So let's see a quick reference sheet.
Aye.
Right. So So you have each round or turn is split into 3 phases. You got the priority phase to see who's going to go first each turn, and then you've got the action phase, which is where you take turns activating models, and it's like alternate activation. So I'll activate a model, then you'll activate one, and so on.
Right.
But whoever gets priority gets to do the first activation in that round.
Right.
And then the end phase is where anyone who's got injuries can try and heal themselves, or your gang might run away if they took too many casualties and things like that.
Right.
So you would start by rolling for priority, and whoever gets the highest goes first for that particular round.
So normal dice.
Yeah. The symbol is the 6. Yeah. So you get priority this round.
Woohoo!
Then in the action phase, you pick one of your fighters and you make up to 2 actions with them, which are on the list here. There's basic actions, simple actions, and double actions. And you do up to 2 actions of any combination. If it's a basic action, you can only do it once. If it's a simple action, you can do it up to twice. And if it's a double action, it counts as both of your actions.
Aye. Self-explanatory.
Yeah. And then when you're on your feet, you've got the active fighters actions. Engaged actions is when they're in melee, when the bases are touching. Pinned fighters is when you're lying down face up, so that's after you've like been shot and you like duck for cover, but you're not injured. And then there are other actions where if you're in the advanced rules where like if you're injured you can like crawl around on the floor and stuff. Then just like in 40k you've got your movement, your weapon skill, your ballistic skill and everything's on the little sheet for each fighter.
Yes. I can see them out.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to have a fuck now while you're just explaining.
Yeah.
It just goes then
For sure.
I'm listening, and then it just means that I can play the game without interruption.
The last 4 stats, those are done using 2 dice. Normally you would roll 1 and equal or beat your score. But the last...
So the ones on the right hand side in like a
in the red
bit?
Yeah. You would roll 2 dice to try and beat those.
Right.
So you got movement, weapon skill for melee, ballistic skill for shooting, strength, toughness, wounds, initiative, attacks, leadership, cool, willpower, and intelligence are the skills.
Right.
So you'll be familiar with most of them because they're very similar to 40k, but initiative is your dexterity and reflexes, which, like, if you were trying not to fall down a hole, you would use initiative, for example. Cool is used for keeping calm under fire. Willpower is your mental fortitude and resilience, and intelligence is mental acuity and ability to apply knowledge.
So do you have to beat them to pass it, or do you have to get under?
Equal to or higher. Yeah.
On 2 dice it should be alright, 8.
Yeah. So like on some of them, like the doors all start locked, but if you move next to a door, you can either use your strength to try and batter through the door, or you can use your intelligence to try and program it open and stuff like that. So that's like some examples of some of the stuff you can do there. And then underneath you've got your weapon traits. So you've got your short range and your long range. Then you've got your accuracy modifiers. So for example, let's have a look, something with a modifier. Like a rivet cannon is a 3-inch short range or a 9-inch long range, but if I'm at short range I get +2 to my dice roll.
Right. Yeah.
But at long range I don't get anything. And then
so what's the E mean?
E is engagement, so like fighting knives, render risers, power hammers.
So up close and
that's
personal.
your melee attacks.
Right.
So if you don't have something with E, then you fight with your fists, and you just use your own strength. But
right.
if you're using something with E, then like for example a fighting knife, it's the same strength as what you would get with your fist, but you get +1 to hit because it's more likely to chop someone up than just punching them.
Aye.
The strength is what you use obviously for working out your wounds. Armor penetration is it's like the AP value on 40k for reducing the save.
So it's basically like if I do 2 damage, where it has the -1 AP, I do.
It will be like if it gets through, it'll do 2 wounds, and the -1 means my armor save will be reduced by 1.
Aye.
Yeah.
Right.
So damage is how many chances it is of taking someone out. Ammo is the lower the number, the better. So if when you roll to hit, there is this dice with the bullets on, the bullet holes.
Yes.
And if you roll the bullet symbol on there, that means you've got to take an ammo check because your gun might have run out of ammo, or your flamethrower might have run out of fuel.
Right, yeah.
And then you take an ammo check and roll equal to or more than that under AM to make sure you haven't run out of bullets. Right. If you don't roll that, you don't run out of bullets. And like some weapons will have like sustained fire where they'll do extra hits. I don't know if we've got any on these, but if you'd rolled like say the 3 bullet holes, that would be like more shots get fired.
Right.
And then traits are like different things that the weapon can do. So like stub cannons get knocked back, which is.
So is the grenade launcher.
Yeah.
The shotgun.
Yeah. Which I think pushes models backwards when you shoot them.
Knockback.
Yeah. So that's like that stuff in a nutshell. Your distances is in inches using the tape measure stick. If you're prone, so if you're pinned, you're considered to occupy the same space as you would if you stood up.
Right.
So you can't go, oh well I would hit his head, because his head would be outside of his base. So that's how you work out roughly
right
when they're shooting. And with walls, you measure from the closest point of your base to the closest point of the corner of the wall when you're going like around a corner.
Mm-hmm.
For like working out if you were in range. But those 2 fighters, even though they're only like say 3 inches away, would count as being like 8 inches away because they'd have to come all the way around. So if he had an ability that said someone within 3 inches gets this, he doesn't get it because they're too far away because the walls are too thick.
Right.
Doors don't count though. If a door's open, it's open. Obstacles are these things. You can't move through them. You've got to move around them.
Aye.
And then the injury dice are the ones with the skulls and the broken bones on. And you roll those if you take someone out of action to see whether it's a flesh wound, whether they're dead, or whether they're just hurt.
Aye.
And the scatter dice is the one with the arrow, which is like if the grenades go flying off, you can scatter things.
Aye.
Your vision arc is using this to work out what you can see. As is a rule of thumb, your front facing is wherever your model is looking. So his front facing is that way, even though his body's that way. He's out, like you see, his facing is like that because that's where he's looking.
Aye.
Yeah. Line of sight is same as 40k if you can see it. From your model to their model, then you can see it. And then your characteristic checks is what we're saying before, where you will equal to or higher than whatever the characteristic is, apart from the last 4, which are on 2 dice. Blast markers. So then blast markers, which will be like the grenades, use these.
Aye.
To work out like where they're actually going to blast. I think you'll need them. So I haven't got any.
Well, grenade launcher.
Yeah, you've got the grenade launcher.
Yes.
I have the rivet cannon. I don't know what that does, but it'll tell you what size blast it uses, I think, in the weapon.
Yeah, 3 inches.
So that's the smaller one. That one. Then the rounds were explained. You can move across barricades and other obstacles when making any move actions except for charges. Sorry, so you can move over it, but it costs you 2 inches to move from one side of to the other.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't charge through it. You have to charge around it. Then your shooting is you declare your shot, then you check your range, then you make your hit roll with any modifiers. So cover, accuracy, engaged or prone can make it harder to hit or easier to hit. If you are hit, then you pinned, so your model lies on their back. That's to represent them ducking for cover. You then resolve your hits to see whether you've done any damage, like wounds and armor saves and things like that. Knockback is if the hit roll for a weapon with the knockback trait is equal to or higher than the target's strength before modifiers are applied, they move 1 inch directly away from the attacking fighter. If the blast weapon has it, they move directly away from the centre of the blast marker. So like your stub cannon is strength of the hit roll, other than the target strength. So my guys all seem to be strength 4. Are yours the same?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you hit someone with a shotgun and the hit roll was a 4 or more, then in addition to anything else, you would push the model backwards. So if you're playing on multiple levels, you can like blast people off ledges and stuff. Cover is obviously like being stood on opposite sides of a barricade, but if I'm touching the barricade, I'm not at penalty, but I'll gain the benefit for being shot at.
Aye.
Same as the 40k. And then close combat is you can turn to face because you can only attack somebody that you're looking at. So if you're charged in the side, then you can turn to face. You get -1 to hit because you've turned, but at least you can fight back. Whereas if you charge like that, when it comes to me to attack back, attack because I'm not facing that way, so I have to move around. But if I was engaged with multiple fighters, I could turn to face if I wanted to change my target.
Aye.
And then you roll dice and make hit rolls and what have you, and see what happens. And then, so when it's with the close combat attacks, if you attack someone and you don't take them out, they then get to attack back with like a reaction.
Yeah.
Your armor save, we're all wearing furnace plates, which is if we're shot in the front, it's a 5 up armor save. If we're shot in the back or the sides, it's a 6+ armor save. And then there'll be like some of them have got skills. It's probably better if we don't worry about the skills for the first game and just.
I think it's just like
get a feel for the mechanics.
Aye, because then when we have more time and we can then just sit and play multiple games, rattling them off.
Yeah,
and stuff
so
like that.
We'll skip over skills until game 2, and then the end phase is after everybody's every fighter has acted. You then move any tokens and stuff because you can use these to show if you've had your action or not.
Right.
If you weren't sure who's took an action and that kind of thing. And then your wound roll is the same as 40k. If your strength is the same as the toughness, it's 4+. If it's more, it's 3+. If it's double, it's 2+. So it should be fairly easy for us to pick up the damage side of it. And then I think everything else we need is pretty much on the
sheets.
Things, rapid fire. I've got one with rapid fire.
So that.
Rapid fire.
The combat shotgun has rapid fire.
Right. There we go.
Is that like?
Rapid fire X is
Probably one extra shot or whatever it is.
Yeah, so when you fire a rapid fire weapon, a successful hit roll scores a number of hits equal to the number of bullet holes on the firepower dice. Where I was saying you can get 3 hits. In addition, the controlling player can roll more than one firepower dice up to the number shown in brackets. For example, when firing a rapid fire 2 dice, you could roll two dice rather than 1. So if we're firing a stub cannon, it just fires 1 shot, and we don't worry about the number of bullet holes. But if we're firing the rivet cannon or the combat shotgun, then if you roll that, you get 3 hits, not 1, for example.
Aye. Well, mine's rapid fire 1 in brackets.
So it just means that you roll 1 rapid fire dice, which is the one with the ammo on, and the number of bullet holes. If you successfully hit on your D6, the number of bullet holes tells you how many times you've hit.
Right.
So that multiplies the number of hits. If you score more than 1 hit, you can split the hits between multiple targets, but each target has to be within 3 inches of the first model you shot and within range of the weapon. So if you had a couple of them together and you scored 2 hits, you could allocate 1 to each if you wanted, or 2 to the one you nominated. Have you got pulverize on the renderizer?
Yes.
Yeah, pulverize is after making an injury roll for an attack made by the weapon, the attacking player can roll a d6 if the target is equal to or higher than the target's toughness, or you roll a 6 that can change 1 injury dice from flesh wound to serious injury. Which is these ones, because flesh wound is where you hurt but you can still keep on fighting. So you get serious injuries where it knocks you down. Pistols can be used in close combat, but you can only use 1 attack with your pistol. Everything else has to go onto your melee weapon. If you've got more than 1 melee weapon, you can choose how to split your attacks. Combi has 2 profiles, makes sense. Blaze is you can end up setting people on fire, which is pretty cool. So the rivet cannon has a chance of setting people on fire.
Yeah.
That's all. Do you have any other special rules on your weapons?
The only other one I have is disarm on the brute cleaver.
Disarm is okay. If a hit roll for an attack made with a disarm weapon is a natural 6, the target cannot use any weapons when making reaction attacks during that combat. They have to do unarmed attacks instead. That's pretty.
I thought it would have been.
Yeah, so something similar. Backstab on the fighting knives. You got any with fighting knives?
No.
Well, do you want to take Varric for one of your for your guy with a stub cannon? Because I've got someone with fighting knife, and he's got fighting knife. That guy.
Well, then I've given you 2 stub cannons.
No. Because I've already got 2 stub cannons. I've got one guy has a stub cannon and a knife. I'm saying if you want to take that one. The models are the same, so you can keep
right.
model. It's just means you've then got someone with a knife, just to be different. So they have backstab, which is you get +1 strength if the attacker is not within the target's vision arc. So if you're attacking someone from the side or behind, you get +1 strength, which is pretty cool. That's all of the traits. So I think if we just give it a whirl and see what happens. But those are your actions on there.
I've got them here.
So simple can be done multiple times, basic can be done once, doubles count as both actions, and each fighter gets 2 actions, and you take it in turns to do it. With deployment, I know it suggests that you use the box for the first mission and have your fighters touching the end of the box, but because I painted up the scenery, I figured we'd give that.
You might as well try the scenery.
Yeah, so if we take turns deploying models, and just have the back of the base touching the board edge. And then.
Well, I know I've got priority first round, but we'll see who.
I was going to say, do you want to maybe rotate the board, and then we've both got a line of cover, or just because you've only got one way in here, which will bottleneck you. Whereas if we maybe, I suppose we could open the door there. And just say that door's. We open these. And there's still a little bit of cover, but it maybe opens up the line of sight a bit more. Yeah, and then you've got a bit more kind of stuff. So roll off. Do you want to say highest player starts by putting a figure down? That's a 6.
2.
That's a 2.
So you first.
So I'll go first. So all my weapons seem to be relatively short range. Well, the stub cannon's not too bad. There's one there. Okay, so you've got priority, so you just take it in turns to activate your fighters. 2, 3, 4, 5. So just if you want to keep track of who's activated in case you need them. guy with the rivet cannon and the leader of mine, they've got 2 wounds, but the other 3 have only got 1 each.
Only my...
Just the champion.
Just him has 2 wounds, all the rest have 1. Right, so the first action, so there'll be movement.
You can do them in any order as well. So if, for example, you had someone that you could see, you could shoot and then move. But you can also, if you can see them, you can aim and then shoot. You've got aim as a basic action. That gives you +1 to hit when you shoot an attack, which is pretty good.
Well, I'd probably say at the moment...
It's always getting into position in it, so...
You know, he probably could see him.
Yeah.
Straight through the door. Out of the way. But I can't remember who he is. He's the one with the stub cannon.
The stub cannon.
And the fighting knives. 18 inches. No.
No, 18 inches is going to be about halfway up. Because these are 12-inch boards.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18.
Yeah. That's mathematics for all you viewers.
The boards are 12 inch by 12 inch.
24 by 24 for the full thing.
Right. So then movement. Don't know why I need that next time. Just move 2 squares. So it'll be like 2, 4. Do I go, then you go, then me go, then you go?
So you take 2 actions with 1 fighter, and then I do 2 actions with 1 fighter, and then back to you.
Oh, right. I thought it was like I move 1 and you move 1.
No, so you can pick a fighter and do 2 actions with that 1 fighter,
right.
And then I pick a fighter and do the same. But if you, I would use the tape measure for range and stuff though, because if you go in, obviously around corners and stuff, you might not be able to move as far as you'd think. It's gonna make a mess, isn't it?
So he can see him because the barricade's like half.
That's fine. So if you look at his field of vision,
so it's like
then all 5 are within his vision arcs. That's fine.
Well,
but then these are possibly blocked by this.
Aye, that's blocked by that. So it's like these 3.
Okay. So for cover,
but it depends on what would cover be. Would it be totally behind, or because I can see half of the base on one, half the base on another,
okay.
and one is fully behind cover.
If you can trace a line to the entire part of the base without crossing a wall, obstacle or fighter, then they're not in cover, they're in the open. Otherwise, if the line can be traced to at least half of the base without touching it, they are in partial cover. If you can see less than half the base, then it's full cover. So if you can see half or more, it's -1 to hit, and if you can see...
So that one there, if I look, I can see
probably
half of his base. That one there, I can see quarter.
Right, so he's in heavy cover.
He's in full cover. So I can't see any of his base because he's hidden behind that.
Yeah, but you can still see the model, so I would still say you could shoot him within heavy cover.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's fully...
Yeah, and then he's in heavy cover because of most of his is obscured. He's in light cover.
Aye.
So, with shooting, when you select targets, this is something that I was reading the other day. Okay, so
him. Gotcha.
Maybe I've just made that up.
What?
For some reason I thought you had to shoot the closest model.
Well, to be fair, they're probably all the same distance away from us. Because I'm standing in the centre of that one. So I would probably say I'm in the...
I might be getting confused with an older version of the game.
Possibly.
Yeah, I'm obviously getting confused with a different version of the game. I thought you had to shoot the closest person unless the one further away was an easier shot.
Right.
I think that might be the older version of the game. So you can shoot anybody, so you pick any enemy that is within your vision arc and line of sight.
Right.
So once you've declared it, you then check the range. Make sure they're within long range.
Ding.
So you're shooting at Skullshank.
It's 24 inches.
Which is within range because it's a 24-inch board. So then you make the hit roll. So you make a ballistic skill check for the attacker. If the hit is scored, you proceed to the next step. Otherwise, it misses. Some situations will modify the result of the hit roll.
So ballistic skill on him is 4.
So it's a 3. He's in partial cover, which would have reduced that by 1 to 2. Does he have any accuracy on a grenade launcher?
No.
No. Okay, so there will be nothing there. So it will be considered a missed attack. But with blast, blast markers. Oh, when you declare a shot with a blast weapon, instead of picking an enemy, place the appropriately sized blast marker determined by the number in brackets after the trait. So if the central hull is anywhere within line of sight, if the central hull is out of range, the attack still goes ahead. The blast marker is moved directly backwards until it's in range. Roll to hit as normal. If the attack hits, the marker stays where it is. If the attack misses, roll a scatter dice and 1d6. So you want it directly on his head, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The marker will then move in the direction shown on the scatter dice using the small arrow if the hit symbol is rolled a number of inches equal to the number on the d6. The marker stops if the central hull comes into contact with a wall or closed door. If you roll a hit and a 1, something's gone wrong, and you roll another dice, and if you roll a 1 again, the blast marker is centered on your head. Like if the bomb goes off in the chamber or something like that.
So it's like just crit. It's just
like a critical failure, yeah. Watch. So it goes that way 3 inches, so it'll be off the board over here. If you had hit, then you work out who's hit by, like if it scattered this way, for example, it could have scattered over and hit him instead.
Yeah.
So even if you, like grenade launchers and stuff are quite effective, because even if you miss where you've aimed, you might still get a lot of them dotted about. Yeah, okay. So that was his 2 actions, was move and then shoot.
Right.
So I will, in that case, activate stub can guys, which will be a move and then a shoot. You've got the dice. So he is movement 4. So we'll get him up here. Some cover. I'll declare a shot against. See, he's right in the open, but that's going to be overreading. So I'll go against him. It's going to be heavy cover. So 12 gets me to just in front of the barricade, and then another 6 is within long range. He is ballistic skill 4. So we'll get a hit. So it's 4. There's no range penalty, but minus 2 for the cover reduces that down to 2, so it's a miss. So that missed. So he's now activated. Okay. So it says firepower dice you use. Let's have a look. Ah, there it is. If a fighter is making a range attack, if they can see more than one enemy, they have to shoot the closest one. I knew it was in here somewhere, because the closest person represents the most obvious threat. If you want to shoot someone further away, you've got to do a cool check by rolling equal to or more than your cool value on 2 dice, unless the person that's further away is the easier shot. So although he's closer, because it's a straight line rather than diagonal, because that was an easier shot, you wouldn't have had to take the cool check.
Aye,
but
right.
if he was hard cover and he was light cover,
I would have had to go for him.
Yeah, because exactly right.
Right.
I'm just checking when we need to be rolling this firepower dice.
Isn't it not when you've hit?
I don't know, because I don't know if you roll it every time you shoot. Because every time you shoot, you could run out of ammo. So in the basic rules, ranged weapons can fire continuously. In advanced rules, you roll a firepower dice at the same time as the hit roll, even if a hit roll is not made. For example, if you're using a flamethrower template, you still roll the firepower dice. If the bullet symbol is rolled, then you risk running out of ammo, so he's fine. So I didn't run out of ammo on his stub cannon. If you do roll it, that's when you take the ammo check. Right, okay. So you rolled the ammo check, which means that you now do an ammo check, so a d6 and roll equal to or more than the ammo. I thought it should be fine, is it?
No, it's 6 plus ammo.
You've got 2 types of grenades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it just means you've run out of the type that you fired. So the blast one has run out of ammo, but you've got the frag grenade and the crack grenade. So you've run out of the explosives, but you've still got the armor penetration one. It's worse. It's gonna make a mess of that hit. Okay, so let's remember he's run out of ammo on his grenade launcher.
On one of you bullets.
Yeah. As a simple action, so like in the next round when you activate him, a simple action, you can make another ammo check, and if you pass, you find enough ammo to reload it. And you can attempt to reload more than once, so you can do that twice as both your actions if you wanted. For him next turn, you could try and find another grenade, which is pretty handy.
I was just checking, like, if I went diagonal, like, if it was the same, like, 2.
Yeah. I think in this, there's no pre-measuring. So, like, in 40k, you can measure at any point. In this, you only measure once you've declared.
Well, I wasn't That's why I wasn't measuring for. I was like measuring here to see like if it was like 2 and 2, or if it was like 5 diagonal or 4.
Just for the sake of anyone in the comments, we know you can't pre-measure.
It's a tutorial video. We are learning the basics, and so I use. Right, so let's have a look. Right, which dude's my stub cannon?
He's got a stub cannon there. The other guy's a stub gun, which is a pistol.
So that's the stub cannon?
Yes.
Right. He has a movement of 4, so it would be there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can see half of his board.
This guy?
Yeah. I think I can anyway.
Yeah, I can see you, so you can see me.
I'm just seeing how much of the board base I can see.
You can definitely see him from
so it's like half the board. Mm-hmm. So he's under light cover. Half board.
Yeah. I would say light.
And so I want to attempt the stub cannon on him.
Okay.
18 inches. So
12 gets you to here, and 6 will get you to about here. So that's fine.
It's fine then. Right. So the stub cannon. Ballistic skill of 4. And I do the arrow with it, don't I?
Yeah. So 5 will still hit unless you've got a -1 for range. I don't think there is.
No.
No. Okay. So you need a 4. It's -1 because of the cover, so that takes it to a 5, which is what you rolled. And your hit roll for knockback was equal to or more than my strength, which means that he's pushed back 1 inch directly away from you, which takes him to there. And then he's pinned by placing on his back. You did roll the ammo symbol.
So the damage is 1.
So that's when you get to the wound stage.
Right.
So at this stage you've just hit him, and he lies on his back to represent the fact that he's now ducking for cover.
Right. Now I've got to roll for my ammo check.
Yep.
So I've got to do 3 plus.
That's a 1. No good. No ammo on that stub cannon.
Now there isn't.
Okay. So the wound roll is the strength equal to, greater, or twice the toughness. So his toughness is 4.
The strength of the stub cannon is 5.
Okay, so that means that you would roll that wound on a 3 plus.
6.
It's a 6, so it is a wound. So let's have a look. I think now you roll the injury dice. Let's have a look. Resolve hits, page 52. Page 52. Resolving hits. So you make the wound roll. I now make a save roll. So I have a d6. You were in my side arc, so I only get the 6 plus save.
Yuck.
Because furnace plates only gets the 5 front on. Is there any AP?
Stub cannon, no.
No, so I just need a 6. Nope, so I did not pass my armor save. So inflict damage is... Right, the target's wound characteristic is reduced by the attacking weapon's damage value. So he only had 1, so that's reduced to 0. In the basic rules, he's taken out of action and takes no further part in the game. In the advanced rules, which is what we're doing now...
Oh, I thought we were just doing the standard, basically.
Just to get a feel for injuries. So...
There's the dices.
Yeah, so you roll the one with the skull and the broken bones on. And that is flesh wound. So he takes a flesh wound marker, which is one of these. Right. So each flesh wound on the card reduces his toughness by 1. If his toughness is ever reduced to 0, then he goes out of action. So he's now effectively only toughness 3.
But, so how does that work then? If he's done 1 damage and he's took 1 wound, how is he still alive?
So with this, the injuries represent just how much damage. So he's took enough damage to like basically impede him. So it's like now he's going to be a lot.
So I'd have to basically getting the skull to take him out.
Well, if you'd rolled the broken bone, then he would be face down, and he basically does nothing until when I do a recovery roll, I then roll a health
right.
to basically stand him back up. If you cause an injury in close combat and you're not engaged with any other fighters, you make a free coup de grace action, which basically gives you just damage rolls until you knock someone out because they can't defend themselves. Yeah. So flesh wounds just says just reduces the toughness by 1, and on previous versions of the game, each flesh wound gave you -1 to hit as well. So I'll check if that still applies. No. So that's just the previous version of the game by the looks of it. But it just means that next time you shoot him, his toughness is only 3.
Nice, so I'll be wounding on 2s.
He'll still be on a 3, but if he takes another flesh wound, then he'll be wounding on a 2.
Unless I get the skull.
Yeah. Or if you hit him now with something of strength 6, that would wound him on a 2, whereas previously it would have wounded him on a 3.
Hello, Rory. Hello.
Okay. So my activation then will be.
Who are you doing with pal?
I'm going to do Nox the Ripper, and he's going to do a double move action, which will be basically he'll move twice.
I don't know if you charge.
No, because charge is where you add.
You add D3 inches.
You make a standard move, add D3 inches, and then you allow it to move next to an enemy and hurt them in combat. So he's just going to go.
4
movement is
inches.
4,
8.
so he gets to go 8. So 8 inches will go 6 to there, and 8 gets him up. That's not the right guy. So it's this guy. So
That's the board, Ben.
8 inches will get him to there. Okay. And then back to you.
So he's the one with the.
He's got the combat shotgun.
No, he's the Spudjack.
No, that's him. Spudjacker is the wrench. He's the guy with the combat shotgun.
He's the shotgun dude.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and he's the one with me.
Renderizer.
Right. So I'm going to move him 8. So 2. So, there.
Okay.
So basically it's quite like, I know these are 2 inches, so I've went from the edge of each of the first bases and then put the edge of the base at the back of the base, so then it's 8 inches.
Of course. Okay.
But I will double check just to. Yeah, that's right. So he is definitely 8 inches.
Next up then, I will activate Skullshank. He will also do a double move. So he's going to go 2, 4, 8 gets into there. I think I've just realised that I've got 100 points of credits more than you because I've got a champion, so I'll take walk off.
It's fine.
You sure?
We're doing testing, so when we start playing properly, then we'll make sure, because I say we're just learning the mechanics. So regardless of the outcome of this, we're just learning the mechanics. So then we can then go right. These are my points. These are your points. Yeah. Right. I've got too many. I need to swap it out for something else lower and stuff like that. Sure. As I say, because I'm not really fussed at the moment because I'm just learning me mechanics. Right, so this one is the one with the stubborn spudger.
Yes.
So where have I turned him over? It was him I moved.
Yes.
He's the combat shotgun.
Yes.
So why does he have a grenade in his hand?
Because he also has grenades. If you look at
he has frag grenades as well. Yeah. Right. Okay, so that would be 2. Right, I'll do it properly. I just need to get used to it, man. So, is it from the front of the base or the back of the base?
As long as you measure from the same point to the same point, then it's fine. I normally do it from like the head because it's an easy point for reference.
So him there.
Yeah.
So then he's moved.
Yeah.
To there. So. Him there.
Yeah, he's going to shoot at Skullshank.
Like I said, I can see half the base, so he's in light cover, I would say.
Probably heavy, because although you can see half the base, you can't see more than half the model, because this is going to be covering most of them.
That's only.
Yeah, small. So from the waist down, you can't see him.
I can see his left leg. So stubborn is 12 inches.
Okay.
That's.
It'll be within 12, I think. Yep, so he's in range.
Yeah, so that's the little dots on his head.
He's definitely
in range. So the stub cannon.
Got a stub gun in it. Or stubber.
Stubber, yeah. So it's 12. Hitting on 4. Oh.
It's a 5. Okay.
Which would be reduced down to
3. But is there any range?
What accuracy?
Yeah.
That's only on short range of 6 inches.
Right. So long range is no benefit.
Aye. I didn't need to roll that.
You do?
I don't, because the stubber ammo is just a line.
Oh, that right. I think that means you auto pass. Is it where it says AM? Yeah, I think that'll mean.
It's just a line, yeah. So
it's probably that they're so easy to find bullets that you always pass.
Aye.
Yeah.
So that's failed then.
Okay.
Because I needed a 4 to hit.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 5.
And then modified it down to a 3. Okay. Well, I'll do walk next. So you'll move. We'll get him to there. And then he'll shoot at the guy that's still there. I'll say it'll probably light cover because I'm still shooting through the edge of this gantry and just clicking this one. Okay, so he's got a stub cannon, which is.
So the stub cannon is 18, yeah.
So
with no modifiers. Yeah, it's definitely
in.
And they have no modifiers for long range, do they?
No, so it's 4 plus normally, -1 because of the cover. So 5, I missed, and I rolled ammo.
So you've got to do an ammo check.
Ammo 3 plus to fail, so he's out of ammo. Oh, unfortunate.
Having a look with these days.
I know. Okay. And then it'll be your last dude.
Right. What's this? Right, so I've done that one, so I need to flip that. So he has movement 4. The skills, you know, when you ask him, what does fearsome mean?
Fearsome?
On him, because he's got like the skill fearsome. Because like you've got like their skill.
Yeah. He's got Iron Will on the leader.
Aye. So it's like my leader's got fearsome.
Goliath guns. Fearsome is if an enemy makes a charge action that targets that fighter. So if I charge you, I have to make a cool check before moving. If the check has failed, I cannot move and the action ends immediately. So there's a chance that if I charge you, I'll bottle it.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just going to do a double move on him. So, right. Just in front of that. Right, so that's all mine moved.
Okay.
So then your last
so he's the last one, which is I'll do a double move on him as well. So 8. We'll get him there, up to there.
Where you on, Rory? You're not going out.
Okay. So end phase, we check to see how many fighters are out of action.
Aye.
We have none at the moment. How many fighters are down? We have none, because that guy ended up just getting a...
Well, wouldn't that not class as being down?
No, because a flesh wound he doesn't...
Because he's on his arse?
No, flesh wound it doesn't count as being out of action or down. Down is when you're seriously injured, because when you're seriously injured, you basically take no part in the fight until you get back up. But it costs him half an action to stand up.
Half an action?
Like one of his 2 actions.
Oh, right, aye. Right.
Yeah.
So even though you're knocked down, you're not actually classed as being...
You're not out. Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's fine.
So
you know the Tassimo machines?
Yeah, the ones where you put the little cartridges in.
Aye. You know, like the little discs?
Yeah.
You know how they're usually like 120 quid?
Mm-hmm.
Curry's have got them on for 30 quid.
That's alright, right? They always put stuff like that on when I haven't got any money.
For Black Friday?
Alright, so it might stay available for a little while then.
Aye. My brother's just getting us one.
Nice one.
I like friggin' coffee. Did you want another cup or have you still got some?
No, I'm alright, thank you.
There's that coffee.
Aye. Smells nice.
I've got the I've got a which one did I get? And I got Brazilian strength of 4.
Yeah.
Rich and smooth with nutty nuts.
Nutty nuts.
Nutty nuts. Well, the reason I got the Colombian one for is because it has that the caramel
Yeah.
like sweetness.
Yeah.
But it's not like, you know, like when you get like a caramel latte or cappuccino and that with the caramel in it.
Yeah.
And you can taste the sweetness of the caramel in it. Well, with that you get the hint of the caramel but not the sweetness.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's decent. But it's bad for you.
Yeah.
Because I do it and I fill the pot up and the pot fills like 10 cups.
Then
And
you
it's
bring
like,
something else.
I ended up drinking the full thing in one day. So I'm like drinking like 10 cups of like strength of 3 coffee. I'm like, right, so
So then priority passes to me.
yes.
For this time. So I'm gonna start with. I don't know. I'm gonna start with Skullshank actually.
And that's him,
this
isn't
guy,
it?
yeah. So we will move first of all 4 inches, which will get him over here. And then he's going to shoot at this guy because he'll be in the open. And then
Not necessarily. Because that.
there. So he's got a 12-inch range on his pistol. He's going to fire the plasma side of it, but he's out of short range, unfortunately. So he hits on a 3. And ammo dice. So it's a hit. Okay, so
Toughness 4.
his toughness 4. Strength is 5, so it wounds on 3. I'll roll that against you, see it.
That's fine if that's that you just picked it up and.
Didn't wound. So it just knocks him down. So he just lies on his back. So he's pinned but not injured.
Good.
It's good for you. Okay, and then it's you to activate someone.
So he's the spudjacker.
Yeah.
He's the shotgun.
No, he's the shotgun.
He's the shotgun. He's the cannon.
Yes.
And he's the axe. Alright. Right. So it takes one action to stand them up,
Yes.
and then one action to shoot.
Yes.
Hmm. Actually, I'm going to move him. There. Then this dude,
Yeah.
he's going to use his stubber
Yeah.
on him.
Okay.
So it'll be
Must be within short range now, is he?
6 inches.
Yeah.
Right. So the stubber has +2
Okay. So
accuracy, so I'm hitting on 4s, so it'll be hitting on 2s, wouldn't it?
yes, that's right. So that hits,
Right, so that hits.
and then that's only used for rapid fire.
Right, that's only. Well, I don't know why I keep ruling that for the
It's
stubber.
easier just to
Just to do it and then just disregard it.
yeah.
Strength 3, toughness 4, hitting on 5s.
1 and 5, that's right, yeah.
2 missed. Didn't roll them.
Stub gun ammo is 4+ in the book.
Well, according to the sheet, stubber, ammo, dash.
I think it must be an error on the sheet. Otherwise there'd be no point of
The stub cannon's 3+. But have you not got a stubber?
I've got stub cannons.
They're stub cannons.
Which is ammo 3+, and stub gun or stubber, which is a basic slug thrower, ammo 4+.
Well, according to this, it's in 0.
Yeah.
So
one of them's wrong.
Unless
we'll find out.
Unless the cards are outdated.
No, the cards came with the ruby.
So there's
so one of them two is wrong.
So it's a misprint on one of them.
Yeah.
Has to be?
Yeah.
Because if the boot's in...
Right. What it'll be is because stubbers have a trait of plentiful, which says ammunition for this weapon is incredibly common. When reloading it, no ammo check is required. It is automatically reloaded, so it can run out of ammo.
It says it plentiful in the traits.
So what it'll be is if you roll the bullet, you would then take your ammo check to see if you ran out of ammo. But then if you spend one of your actions to reload, you just reload for free.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So even though it says no ammo, I still roll it, and even if I roll the ammo part on the dice, I've run out of ammo and I've got to spend an action next turn to reload it. Right.
Yes, exactly right.
Right, that's fine.
That makes sense. Yeah. But you hit him, so he is pinned. Did you roll a wound?
I got a 2.
Okay, so
I missed.
Okay.
And plus, it would have been a 5-up save anyway, because I'm face to face one of them.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so...
And your dice rolls when it matters.
So the guy with a decent shot at you has no ammo. So it's probably worth reloading and shooting. Maybe... I'm going to...
Forfeit.
No. I'm gonna...
You're not going out there, pal.
Activate... Grendel.
Grendel is the
guy with the rivet cannon.
Right.
So I'm gonna move him first of all.
Right. Who did that do?
Move. We'll get him to there. And then second move we'll get him to there. Just his weapon's got unwieldy, which means that it takes him a double action to fire it.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you were moving and not shooting.
Yeah, I just need to get him up close. When it goes off, it's pretty good. Multiple shots or one high strength shot that can set you on fire. Which is pretty cool. But it's only got a 9-inch range. So, but that's over to you.
Okay.
Oh, don't go. Has he not run out of ammo?
He's the sub cannon.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Shit.
That's why I'm in the open, because I figure I've got one turn before I get shot at.
Actually, I'll do that. Then I'll spend one action to stand him back up.
Yep.
And then use the other action to use his crack
The other grenade that he hasn't run out of.
on.
So he's now -1 to hit because he's it's called prone when you're lying on your back.
But when it's blast.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not blast, not with a crack.
No.
So him would be under. Would he be classed as undercut?
Heavy cover, yeah, because you're shooting through a barricade.
It's a grenade. started. I'll do the crack on him.
Okay.
So bullet and that. So he's not within 6 inches. Don't believe.
Just out.
He's just. It's fine. So it's not short range. So it's long range, which is good. So hitting on 4.
It'll be -1 because I'm pinned, which means I'm prone
So
to -1, so goes to 5.
5.
So it's a hit.
And 3.
It just means you haven't run out of ammo.
Right, so 6 plus.
Yeah.
So strength of
another
6.
Yeah. So his toughness is 4, so it wounds on 3. So that's a wound. And what's its AP?
-2.
So that takes his armor save from 5 to a 7. Just check if you can do that. Save roll. No, can't. So it goes through. So what's its damage?
2.
So that takes his wounds down to 0. So you roll the injury dice. As a flesh wound, so it just takes knocks his toughness down to 3. Makes him easier to wound.
It's not. There should be, as soon as they're getting 2 wounds, deed. Out. Go. Right, now.
Next up.
You?
Yeah. Next up will be. Hello.
We're busy, mate. Go and take your bottle of your mum.
Rourke will try and reload. So I need a 3+, which he gets. So he's now got ammo. And then he will try and shoot at this guy with the stover and the spudjack. So he's within 12. He's in range. There's no penalties there. I don't think there's any cover there.
No.
Nah. So it's just a straight 4 up that we need. Nope, we've got a 3. So he missed.
But you used 3 ammo.
Just means I didn't roll bullets, so. So over to you.
I can't see. Can't see, but still in the heavy cover.
And you have to reload first.
No, that's some damn thinking.
Yeah.
I am gonna reload him.
Yep.
So 3+.
Yep.
Yep. So he's reloaded. And then I'm gonna shoot at him.
He's definitely within 18. Full show.
No, I was just saying short range. Short range is 9 inches.
Yeah, but there's no accuracy modifier.
I was just saying.
Yeah.
So hitting on 4s, 5s, 6s.
Yeah. Nope.
2. Nope. That's fine.
But at least he didn't run out of bullets this time.
I totally missed. So now it's you.
To me. So I'm gonna half an action to stand up with Drago.
Yep.
And it's going to be tight, but I'll declare his shot against him with his stuck cannon. So 12 gets him to there. Yeah, he's in range. Light cover from there though, because he's partially obscured.
So hitting on 5.
5s.
There you
So
go.
1, so he missed. Okay.
Alright. So I'm just going to do double action and move him 8.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 will be there. Now you.
And then Nox the Ripper is the last one. Ooh, this is risky because the idea being I'll run him up, but then you've got ammo for next turn. I'm going to have to do it. So he's going to do a double move, which, so 8 inches will get his head to there. Ooh. And I just hope that you miss. Okay. So target priority goes back to, well, the priority phase, you gain priority again. So, and everybody goes pop, 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 pop.
So decisions, because that's gonna be a fucking twat. But he's getting too close to me. I can shoot twice if I don't move action, can't I?
No,
you can only shoot once.
Shoot is a basic action, it's only simples that you can do twice. So you can do 2 basic actions, but you can't do the same basic action twice. You can do 2 simple actions, but you can do the same simple action twice. That's why you can move twice. You could aim and then shoot, and that gives you +1 to hit. If you're standing still.
Probably do that, aim and shoot. So that'll take it down to
3.
He's the
Stuff cannon.
Stuff cannon. So it would take it down to hitting on 3.
Oh, that's a hit. Knocks him down.
No APs. Well, strength of 5, toughness 4.
What did you roll to hit?
4.
4. His toughness 4, so it does knock him back a little bit as well. His toughness 4, so it wounds on 3.
1, so it didn't wound.
Okay.
But he's kicked him. I've just kicked him on his ass.
Yeah, knocked him down. Okay. Then I guess that I'll activate Grendel with his rivet cannon. I'm going to use the rapid fire version.
Was he the champion?
He is a champion, yeah.
Oh, right, I thought he was.
He's a leader.
Ah,
which is
right.
like the next level above. That's why I was saying if I take 1 model off, because I've got like...
No, I didn't know which one was you, the champion dude.
So it hits on a 4. 9-inch range.
Should be in.
9 inches to him from there, which is in.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not within short range, sadly.
Right, watching the camera.
So rapid fire 1. So I can roll. So I roll these. So I need a 4. Balls.
So he's went.
Yeah, and then missed like a mug. I was hoping for a hit because then that would have been both blows clipped by it.
But he would be in mine now anyway, to hit.
Doesn't matter. You shoot the first one, and if you score a hit on there, then you get the extra shots.
Alright. Right.
Back to you.
So I want to use him.
Yeah.
He's stubborn against him.
Okay.
He's within 6 inches, I believe.
Inches.
No.
No. Stop.
Right.
So it'll be 4s.
Right.
Oh, he's got him. Ow.
No minors.
What's his
So strength is 3, toughness 4, hitting 5s.
So 5s, yeah.
Nope. So put him on his ass.
Right then. Come on, boys. Let this back down.
Just look at the rolls.
I'm going to do one action to stand up with this guy. And then the second action will be the combi plasma. Have to shoot the closest target, which is him. Even though the grenade launcher is now going to shoot my face off. I might just move. Yeah, he's going to move up to the cover so he'll be able to shoot through it. But at least it's -2 to shoot me back. That's his activation.
Well, for me, grenade dude,
that's what I mean.
Well, that's if you hit him.
I can't shoot because I stood up was one action.
Oh,
and
right.
moved as the other one. Yeah.
He can.
No, I know, but it just means
Me grenade dude.
He can't shoot again this turn.
Aye, but he
can. And I'm just thinking, there's.
Aye.
Rather than standing in the open and getting a grenade to the face again, which I don't fancy.
Yeah, true. Actually, grenade dude, I'm gonna move him.
That is that.
Oh crap.
Crack grenade.
Yeah.
Hitting. He's on less than 6 inches.
Yeah.
Double. Don't worry, I'll double check.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in within 6 inches. So it's -1.
Okay.
So it's hitting on 3.
Is it -1 or +1?
-1.
So it's harder to hit at close range.
So it's 5s.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
Parental advisory, explicit lyrics. He's still got him though. So put him back on his ass. Oh!
-2 AP.
Strength.
Strength 6.
So his toughness is now 3 because he's toughness 4 with a flesh wound. So it wounds on a 2 instead of a 3. Yeah, so that does wound. So you roll the injury dice.
I've got it. Came back, it bounced off the chair and rolled back at me.
That's good. Out. So he's removed.
Yes!
First blood to Kevin.
First blood!
Vials.
Right. Over to you.
Oh, thanks.
I think I'll probably say it'll be a different game when we start using different units because if you think these are all
very similar.
Aye.
Yeah.
So like the toughness, the weapon skill, and all that is similar. Where these ones they probably might have
toughness 3, I think.
Lower toughness, higher movement, or stuff like that.
Get up there. So that's Rourke. So he is going to fire his stub cannon at the guy with the grenade launcher.
Okay.
It's an ammo check and a miss. So I needed a 4. So the ammo is 3+. He's run out of ammo again.
Yes!
Rubbish. I think he's just firing blanks.
Aye. Right. Okay. So I want to move him here.
Yeah.
Double moved him.
Okay.
So that's his actions done.
Then I will
So you've only got.
activate Drago as the last one, because everyone else is
No,
activated.
you've just shot with him, didn't you?
No, Rourke. He moved up from there. So it's just him left.
Oh, aye.
Yeah. So I have to spend 1 to move to turn round,
Yup.
and then 1 to shoot, but you'll be in soft cover -1, so I'll need a 5. If I'm moving for cover, I might as well go there where it's in the open. Then it's a 4.
X.
So it's a 4 plus to hit.
But how did you get up and move and then shoot? That's 3 actions.
Because he stood up last turn.
Oh, yes.
So I need 4. No! He still missed. Rubbish!
And got in there.
And he's now going to get combat shotgunned to the head.
So then we split up.
Skull splitter.
Double moved him.
Okay. That's all of mine done.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So now the priority goes back to you.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Drago. He's gonna aim and then shoot at him, which gives him +1 to hit using the aim basic action.
Right.
So
Hitting on 3s.
a 3+, please. Yes, I got him this time. Okay. So it is strength 5. It pushes him back an inch. Oh no, I rolled a 3, so it won't push him back. What's his toughness?
That is bone snapper in it.
With a combat shotgun.
4.
4. So it needs a 3. So that's a wound. Furnace plates 5+. There's no AP, so you get your full 5+ save. No, so it goes through. It does 1 damage.
He's got 1 wound.
Okay, so it does an injury roll, flesh wound. So he is now toughness 3. But he's only pinned, not down, so he can still activate this turn. Okay.
So he Draco's on a wound. And 3 and not. Rock is that one, isn't it?
Yeah, he's out of ammo and facing the wrong way.
So
Chopped up.
So I spend an action to get him up. Shoot.
Excuse you.
What does T stand for?
Where?
Template.
Template, yeah.
So really.
Yeah. Is that scatter shot?
Shredder.
Shredder shot. Yeah, that's like a pebble dash rather than a solid shell.
So I'm going to spend 1 action to stand him back up.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use his last action to shoot him.
Okay.
With the salvo. He's not within 4 inches.
Okay.
So it's long range. So it's within 12 inches. There's no modifier.
Okay.
So hitting on 4s.
Yeah. No.
Missed. Okay.
Next up then, it's gonna go horribly wrong for us, but Rourke's gonna do a charge double move against him. So I get.
Don't forget he's got facing.
So I have to roll a cool test of 5 or more. Yes, on 11. I care not. So he moves in, and let's see how close combat works. Because I miss everything. Okay.
What's Stim Slug Stash?
It'll be some kind of war gear that you.
That's something it is. Siege War Gear.
So pick weapons. He doesn't have any. So he does unarmed. So he just uses his own So it uses its own strength, has no AP, damage of 1. Determine attack dice. So you get your attacks characteristic, so that is 1. So I have 1 attack dice. And then charging, he gains 1 extra attack dice. If you're using multiple weapons, you split your attacks between them. He's not. Declares targets, which is the shredder. The hit rolls is weapon skill, which for him is 4+. So 1 hit, 1 miss. So goes to resolving hits. So his strength is 4.
Toughness 4.
So I need 4+. So it wounds. Then you get your armor save, which is full save because it's on the front.
Which is a 6.
5, 6 for
5.
furnace splits.
No.
No. Only damage 1, and he's got 2 wounds, I think.
Aye.
So he takes 1 wound. So we'll just have to remember that he's took a wound, so he's got 1 left. Then, after the hits are resolved, it's so annoying.
It's because that was
this one's
warped.
Yeah. Enemies make reaction attacks. If there's still any enemies engaged with the attacker, each of them can make close combat attacks against the attacker following steps 1 to 6. So you don't need to turn it face. So you pick your weapons. You've only got the 1.
The renderizer. Attack 2.
So you've got 2 attack dice. So you roll 2 dice.
Hit. Right, so hitting on 3+.
Yeah. So
1 hit.
1 miss. So
One
you hit him.
Strength of 6.
Toughness of 4. So it wounds on a 3. So that's a wound. Any AP?
-1.
So his armor save goes to a 6. Well, I do save it.
What?
I am. Does it have any other special traits?
So it has melee, pulverize, and unwieldy.
Unwieldy just means you can't use 2 weapons at the same time, and you can't move and shoot. Pulverize is when you do the injury roll, which I saved, so it does. Like if it had gone to injury, you get roll more dice. So that one's basically a standoff. If we were no longer engaged, you can move 2 inches to get out of the way. Okay, so that's him activated. So now you pick someone to activate.
I'll do me split the king. So
You're engaged, so is that the guy with the close combat weapon?
that's him.
Yeah. So it's a double action to do close combat against somebody you're engaged with.
Yeah, so
which
I'm
he
gonna
already
be-
is, so it's fine. So it basically just does the same steps as before.
So I'm just trying to attack.
Yeah, so 2 attacks hitting on 3s.
1 hit. Strength of 6. So hitting on
wounds on a
3. Yep.
Does wounds.
-1.
Saved again.
Why I?
Yeah! And then
That's cheating.
I get to fight back. I didn't charge this time, so I only get the 1 dice. Hitting on 4. I missed. So it's a stand up again.
So now it's you.
Back to me. Pick someone. So it's both the guys on the deck, which means they can't do anything. Fantastic.
Well, they can get up.
I know, but that's it. Right, he's gonna stand up.
First they can stand up and move, can't
Yeah. He's gonna stand up, and then he's gonna move to there. And that's him.
Right. So I've got Kroger, so my grenade dude, my spud cannon, and my. Well, that can't be right.
Yeah, you've got 3 guys because if you remember what I've got 1 out of
2,
action, so you'll have.
Oh, because I shot with him
Yeah.
first, then I went with him.
So you've got 3 guys left. I've only got 2,
Right.
1 because 1 guy's dead.
So I'm gonna move. See, I need. I see the grenade's not a blast one, so I don't have to worry about hitting that dude. Actually, I'm gonna move him first. So he's Brack.
Which one's this? The grenade or this guy with the spud jack?
He's Brack with the stubber and the spud jack.
Yeah.
So
remember, it costs you 2 inches to move through one of your own fighters.
Lies.
You're a lie. And as well, I don't have anyone that can shoot now. So, for the purposes of picking where you're going, and next turn you get priority means you're going to be acting before me, so if it helps you pick where you're going.
So it takes us 2 to move through him.
Yeah.
He's kind of fucking there anyway. So 2, then 2.
So you basically would have him touching on the other side.
Right. So he would be in light cover, because I can see half of them. What about the people engaged? Can you shoot them still? Or is that the same rule as if they're engaged and you can't target them?
Let's find out.
Because I know with 40k, if they're engaged, you can't shoot them with certain weapons.
You can, but it's -1 to hit.
Right.
Yeah. And that's cumulative with any cover or.
Aye, so it's just so that I know so it's like certain mechanics that we would need to know anyway, wouldn't we? Right.
Also, if you shoot someone who's engaged and you miss,
I could hit my dude.
On a 1, 2, or 3, you hit your bloke instead.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use his stubber on him.
Yeah.
So he's under light cover, I would say.
Yeah.
So it would be hitting on a 5.
Yeah. So he hits.
So I hit. He's only just getting up back home. I would have hit on less than a 5 actually, because he was within 6 inches.
Oh,
I get a +2.
So it would have ended up being a 3.
Aye. Either way, I still hit. Strength of 3, toughness 4, hitting on 4, 5s.
No.
Nope. I knocked him on his arse again,
Yeah.
so I took him out a bit. That's fine.
So my last chap is going to be Nox the Ripper, which is this guy. So half action to stand up. Just going to have to go here and just hope for the best.
Right. So I've got 2 goes now, haven't I?
Basically, yeah.
Because that's what was getting us confused. I was like, I've got 3. He's got 2. And then I realised how you got that dude out. So this dude here.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the stub cannon on this dude.
Yeah.
There's no modifiers because of short range or long range.
Nope.
However, there is knockback trait on him as well. So hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
Hits.
So it pushes them back against there and knocks them down.
Strength of 5, toughness
4, so one's on 3. So then I get an armor save of 5+. Nope, rolled a 1. So it's damage
1.
He's only got 1 wound, so he goes to the injury dice. There's another 1 dead.
Ding 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 ding.
Oh dear.
Right, so he's been done. So Kroger, so that's him. Here's me missile, here's me cracked grenades. But I've got to be careful because if I get a 1, 2 or 3, I hit my dude.
Yeah.
But if I hit your dude, knock him on his arse.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to chance it for a biscuit.
Okay, so it'll be -1 cover, slight cover, and then -1 for engage, -2 to hit from there. So it might be worth moving first.
Yeah.
Because even if you came around this way a bit, you've got like then you've got like a clear channel. Yeah, like that.
So basically instead of 4s, it would be a 5.
Yeah. Where you were stood, it would have been a 6.
Oh shit! Now I've got it here, look. It's a 5. Nah, it's come off the table, so I'll roll it. I don't know why I rolled that one. It was supposed to be that one.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. No.
Ah, missed.
Okay, so then priority passes back to you.
Yup. So
I'm gonna suggest that we finish the melee and then we call it there, because I have no way of winning this one now. Because he can't do any. He stands up and can't do anything.
yeah,
Because his weapon needs a double action fire.
and plus I can move him up, shoot.
Yeah, so I've got one guy capable and one guy that's about to get his head caved in. But I
Right.
really want to see if I survive another round of combat.
Right, well I'll do the combat then first. So hitting on 3s,
Yeah. So 2 hits.
2 hits, strength of 6, hitting on
Nurse 4, so 3s.
3s. 1 hit,
One goes through. And
-1 EP,
No, so it goes through.
damage 2.
Okay, so check and see if you do double damage. Roll.
Wait, he's only got 1 wound, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I'm checking if you roll 2 sets of injury dice. Right. So if you're reduced to 0, or you're already at 0, you make an injury roll by rolling a number of injury dice equal to the attacking weapon's damage characteristics. You'd roll 2 injury dice. So 1 flesh wound, 1
Incapacitation.
down. You have the pulverize special rule
Yup.
on that weapon, which is after making the injury roll, the attacking player can roll a d6. If the result is equal to or higher than the target's toughness, or it is a natural 6, you can change 1 injury dice from flesh wound to serious injury.
So I've already got a flesh wound and a serious injury.
Yeah, so you would roll a dice, and if you roll a 4 or more, which you do, that flesh wound becomes a serious injury.
And 2 serious injuries.
So you now get to make a free coup de grace action, which is pick a seriously injured fighter, which is him. That fighter is immediately removed and goes out of action. Basically, you stand on his head and
Champion.
good game. I killed nobody.
As I say, this game's not like win or lose. It's learning the mechanics of it
It's quite fun
for us.
actually.
And to be fair, for the first learning the mechanics, it's